All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're lacing up to unpack everything you need to know about the brand new Adidas Boston 13. And this is all based on a really thorough 56-kilometer review that put this shoe through some serious testing.
You know the feeling, right? Every runner is on that quest for the one shoe, the unicorn, the one that can handle your easy recovery days, your long Sunday runs, and still feel great when you decide to pick up the pace. But man, finding that perfect do-it-all shoe can feel kind of impossible sometimes.
Well, to try and solve this exact problem, the running industry created a whole new category of shoe, and that's what we now call the super trainer.
So what does that even mean, a super trainer? Think of it as a hybrid, the best of both worlds. It takes the super fancy, bouncy foams and the stiffening plates from those elite, expensive racing shoes, and it packs them into a more durable, more comfortable shoe that you can use every single day. And that brings us right to the heart of the matter. The Boston 13 is being sold as one of these do-it-all super trainers. But does it actually deliver on that promise? Does it live up to the hype? Well, that's what we're here to find out. So to figure that out, we've got to pop the hood and see what's going on inside. Let's break down the tech that really makes this shoe tick. Okay, so here are the key specs at a glance. It's pretty light, coming in at 228 grams for a woman's size 8. We've got a 36mm stack in the heel and a 30 up front, which gives it a 6mm drop. But honestly, the really juicy stuff, the parts that really define this shoe, are that dual foam midsole and the A-rod system. That's where the magic is supposed to happen. Look, if there's one single thing you need to understand about the Boston 13, it's this dual foam midsole. The entire feel, the entire personality of the shoe, it all comes down to this carefully engineered combination. It's what defines the whole ride. What Adidas has done here is create something you could call a midsole sandwich. The top layer, the part right under your foot, that's Lightstrike Pro. It's that super soft, bouncy, high-energy return foam they use in their top-tier racers. But underneath that, you have a firmer layer of Lightstrike EVA. This is the foundation. It provides the structure and the stability. It's a classic super trainer setup. You get the speed and the fun on top and the stability and durability on the bottom. Okay, so we know the ingredients in the recipe. But how does it actually feel when the rubber hits the road? Let's dive into the running experience. But before we go any further, there is a massive warning that comes from this review. And it's this: do not judge this shoe on your first run out of the box. It absolutely needs a break-in period to show you what it's really about. So for the first 20 kilometers, the review notes that the shoe felt really firm, almost harsh, and not very fun for easy runs. But then, things start to change. Sometime after 20K, the midsole starts to soften, up, and once you cross that 30-kilometer mark, bam, its true character comes out. The takeaway here is huge. Be patient. Give it at least 30K before you make a final call. So, let's assume you put in the miles, the shoe is broken in, and it's ready to go. What's it actually like to run in then? How does it handle different paces?
This is where it gets really interesting. The shoe's personality completely changes with your pace. At very slow speeds, it's just, okay, kind of ordinary. But when you pick it up to a moderate, everyday pace, you find what the reviewer calls the sweet spot. It just delivers this incredibly smooth, fun, rolling sensation. The magic isn't a springy pop. It's that super efficient transition from the moment you land to the moment you toe off.
So, we know it's versatile, we know it's got a unique feel, but that brings us to the most important question of all. Is this the right shoe for you?
First up, let's talk about how your foot hits the ground. The review is crystal clear on this. The Boston 13 is designed with heel strikers in mind. That angled cut on the outside of the heel, the lateral bevel, is specifically there to make that heel-first landing feel incredibly smooth. For forefoot strikers, it's just going to be harder to get the full benefit of that design.
But where your foot lands is only part of the equation. We also have to talk about what your foot does after it lands. And that means we need to talk about stability.
For neutral runners, this shoe is likely to feel fantastic. That firm EVA base gives you a really secure, planted feeling with no wobble. But, and this is a big but, if you're an overpronator, meaning your foot tends to roll inward, there's a potential issue. On the inside of the shoe, there's only that soft Lightstrike Pro foam. There's no firm support there, which can allow your foot to roll in too much, and that could lead to ankle strain.
And the review does not mince words on this. It gives a direct warning. If you overpronate, you need to be cautious with the Boston 13.
This isn't just a theory either. The reviewer, who is an overpronator, actually started to feel that exact ankle strain kick in around the 10-kilometer mark during a race. It's a perfect real-world example of how this can show up, especially as the miles add up.
Okay, so we've looked at the tech, we've looked at the feel, and we've talked about who it's for. Let's bring all that together for the final verdict.
So here's the bottom line. The Boston 13 is a true versatile super trainer, no doubt. It's great at conserving energy, it's excellent for long runs, and it would be a great race day option if you don't want a full-on carbon-plated shoe. But, and this is the crucial part, it is built for neutral, heel-striking runners. If you overpronate, you should probably just keep this one for shorter, faster days.
The review sums up perfectly, calling the Boston 13 a dependable partner for both training and racing. And that's exactly what you want from a workhorse shoe, right? But it all comes with that one very important condition, that pronation isn't a concern for you.
So that leaves one last question, and this one is for you to think about. When you look at your shoe rotation, are you looking for that efficient, dependable partner for the bulk of your miles? Or are you chasing the aggressive, high-strung feeling of a pure racer? Your answer is going to tell you exactly where the Boston 13 fits into your running life.